Now, we have Mr. Sixtus, Ambassador Sixtus Obina Nweke. He's the convener, African Indigenous Center for SDGs. SDG stands for Sustainable Development Goals. And we know all the story about the Sustainable Development Goals. It was first pegged at 2000 and taken now to 2030. This is 2024. So we have about 6 more years to go before it's 2030. So the big question is, where is Nigeria in the prime of time in talking about the Sustainable Development Goals issues in the globe? Most nations of the world have moved ahead, and the big question is, where is Nigeria in all of this? Anyway, Ambassador, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Evans.
Okay.
Good to speak with you.
All right, so we're going to be looking at the NNAMDI case, his continuous detention, and we understand that there are recent moves now that may guarantee his freedom at last. Now, you are joining us virtually from Imo State, that's the southeastern state. So what does this mean for the southeasterners as we hear that freedom is so close for Nnamdi Kanu?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Evans, and good morning to listeners. It is something of great relief to hear that there are moves rather to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from detention. It means a lot to the region of Southeast and of course Nigeria at large. I am of great belief that his release would bring to an end or to minimal the level of insecurity, especially in Southeast, because some of these perpetrators who call themselves agitators, even though Nnamdi Kanu has come out on several occasions to say that most of these persons are not part of his team. So, but we have this belief that his release would actually foster peace, and we cannot develop as a region without peace. So that will also attract a great level of development in the region. So it's a welcome development if it is going to be carried out as quick as possible.
Okay. Now, the agitation for the Biafra nation, whether we call it an ideology now or a movement, is embedded in the mindsets of almost every Southeasterner. That's the belief that most Nigerians have. Now, what are the guarantees that if Nnamdi Kanu is eventually released, that this agitation will not continue? Because that is believed to have snowballed into the restive nature, the restive tendencies in the southeast of Nigeria.
Okay. Agitation for self-determination sometimes is as a result of not too good government or people feeling the right impact of government. Agitations are known all over the world. That of Biafra is not the first. We have people of Biafra, we have people of the Ududua, we have people from the Niger Delta region. Everybody is seeking for self-determination. It is a call for government at the center to equitably, evenly distribute justice through fair appointments, through fair provisions of necessary infrastructures to develop our regions. I am quite sure that if such is being put in place with fairness and equity, there will not be any need for agitation, for separatists to begin to call for secession from the larger society. I am a firm believer of Nigeria. I want unity. I want peace. I want a bigger Nigeria, because the bigger we are, the better. for more prosperity, even productivity and all of that. So it's a call to people at the center to do what they are supposed to do. If those things are done, and nobody will be calling for separation, self-determination and all of that. Even though the United Nations Charter gave us the right of self-realization. So if you feel that where you are, your worth is not being considered and the adjudication of justice is not being meted to you, you have every right to cry out. So I want to see that as a cry for help, and the leaders at the top should actually do justice to that, so that that cry will turn to be a joy for something worth doing. Thank you very much.
Okay, now the sit at home has been a big issue in the southeastern states. We understand that for quite months now, if not years, it's been an issue. Now, what is the guarantee now? Because the beliefs also are that the Biafran agitation has been hijacked. I mean, hence you have some certain movements that believe that, hey, it is not even the Biafra issue anymore. They are fighting what they can best describe. Now, don't you think that if NNAMDI Kanu is eventually released, it's going to have a big issue at hands to fight? I mean, the fact that the Biafra movement has been hijacked, don't you think so?
Okay, first and foremost, let me tell you that the sit-at-home that was hitherto all over the 5 states in Southeast has drastically reduced and is now relaxed. Every Monday, people go about their businesses, banks open businesses, shops open for businesses, civil servants go to work. I want to salute the governors of Southeast. They made it mandatory. If you abscond or if you fail to show up in the name of sit-at-home to your own, you're on your own. That's at your own peril. So sit-at-home has collapsed. Yes, a pocket of criminality, people cashing into that to perpetrate crime in the name of Biafra. NNAMDI Kanu has come out on a several occasions to debunk that. So the release of NNAMDI Kanu, I want to tell you, it is going to help the region very well, because the young man has succeeded in carving his niche. He's a voice to followers. He's a voice to a lot of people. And if he say, stop this, like he has been saying even from prison, I want to believe that they will listen to him and obey him. Now, if we now begin to notice, still same things being done on a daily basis, then those people are not, I want to believe, are not true sons of Igbos. NNAMDI Kanu and his team, they should quickly address that, and so that government will truly know that indeed they are not of Biafra. So that issue of sit-at-home, people have tried to politicize it, but I want to tell you, every Monday I'm here in the Southeast, we go about our normal businesses.
Okay. Now, what would you say that NNAMDI Kanu probably had with the former president now, talking about President Muhammadu Buhari? I mean, for some analysts, they see it as more or less a personal issue that he had with the president. I mean, just only some few months ago, we had a change of governments, the same political party now from APC to APC. If NNAMDI Kanu had issue with a certain political party, of course, it is still the same political party now, the APC. So was it that NNAMDI Kanu had a personal issue with Buhari?
Okay, I want to be honest with you. Personally, I do not think that NNAMDI Kanu has any personal issue with the president. My brother, we are all learned persons. A president elected by the people has this official immunity to take decisions at any point in time that would save calamity for the nation. Unfortunately, at that point, Buhari was at the helm of affairs, and what happened, and NNAMDI was detained and he's still in detention. So as a person, he has every right to feel pained that it was under this man's administration that he was detained. Good thing government is a continuum. Buhari has gone. Another person has come in, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the governors of Southeast and people like us and other, peaceful organizations are now calling on government to temper justice with mercy and bring this young man out of detention for the past 2.5 years. His wife, his children, his siblings, they are all missing him. In the process of this, he has lost both parents. The mother died as a result of this. The father died as a result of this. I mean, moral sense requires that we release him. At least it will go a long way in assuaging the feelings of those that are feeling pain. So in summary, I do not want to believe that he would see it like he has a personal problem with Buhari. But if they have, I can only say what I know. Thank you.
All right. Now, in as much as lots of Nigerians are interested in the release of NNAMDI Kanu, we also understand that very recently there was a case that he filed against the federal government in the Federal High Court in Abuja. Now,
there was a case, what?
Yeah, that there was a case that he filed, a case as it relates to his continuous detention against the federal government in the Federal High Court in Abuja. Now, this flip-flop nature of NNAMDI Kanu vis-a-vis the talks for his freedom, how do you think, don't you think it will affect his freedom?
For me, NNAMDI Kanu has a team of professional, seasoned lawyers. And I want to believe that before he takes any action, he would have consulted his team of lawyers, and they know better the implications of any action. So exercising his fundamental right to freedom, I think that is not a bad one. Appealing to such, he only appealed for release. It is not bad. That will add or increase the momentum of demand for him to be released. So coming from him, coming from governors of Southeast, coming from each and every one of us, it is increasing the momentum, and government will see it as, okay, even the person people are asking to be released is also very eager to be released. So we are just saying generally there be this very swift and quick consideration so that he can go back and take care of his health, which according to newspaper reports is deteriorating, with a proper care of it, and of course galvanize his movement for sustainable peace. We need one another for a better Nigeria. We need him as much as he needs us. We need you, Evans. We need everybody, to complement what President Tinubu and his cabinet are doing for a prosperous country. That is our quest.
Okay, now you kept on talking about the 6 southeastern governors. Now, your own governor...
There are 5, sorry, 5. We are not 6. That is part of those things we are saying. Yeah. Some of them are feeling that the southeast region is marginalized, the only region with 5 states. You see, these are the little things that we need to consider and begin to address them quickly so that we'll be at par with everybody and people will feel good. So some of the reasons behind the agitation is that we are marginalized. 5 states. Only region that has 5 states. So go ahead. I just want to chip in
now,
here.
These 5 states now with the 5 governors now. Now, for example, your own governor, the governor of Imo State, during the twilight of the NNAMDI Kanu's case vis-a-vis the federal government, particularly in Buhari's administration, there were some reasons now, allegations you may want to call it, to suggest that your own governor was really on the page. It was really not on the page of, guaranteeing the freedom of NNAMDI Kanu. And now you will have a new governor. So is your governor really in tandem with the rest of the governors of the Southeast states in NNAMDI's freedom?
My brother, I want to tell you that it is not true. I am apolitical in nature, like you know. But I want to tell you that the governor of Imo State, His Excellency Governor Odideka Hope Uzodinma, has been at the forefront for a sustainable peace in the region. Part of is the release of NNAMDI KANU. Few days ago, about 3-4 days ago, he was at Enugu with other 4 governors in persons. None of them sent his deputy, Professor Soludo of Anambra, that of Abia State, that of Enugu, Ebonyi, including him. And do not forget that he is the chairman, Southeast Governors Forum. Top on their agenda for that meeting is to pay a visit to the president, demanding for the release of NNAMDI KANU. Demanding for the release of NNAMDI KANU. So he is doing very, very well. But of course, you know the political situation. People will come and report their own. Those who do not like him, those who are oppositions, they will say what they will say to tarnish his reputation. But I want to tell you that our governor is a working governor. He is not just working for Imo. He is working for the region.
Okay, so if NNAMDI KANU is released today, in what ways do you think he can fit in? I mean, for somebody, though he's a British citizen, little wonder that he may have to return to Britain. But if he's allowed to, if he wants to stay back in Nigeria, in Nigeria, which is a Nigerian citizen, in what ways, in what measures do you think he can fit in the states and maybe on the federal level?
NNAMDI is, if you are opportune, I use that word opportunity because I have been opportuned to sit with him one-on-one during the time of President Muhammad Buhari. Quote me anywhere. I sat with him in our quest for peace, and he obliged us that he is truly for peace and a united one Nigeria. While I was with him, he is an embodiment of knowledge. He has vast, rich history that transcends his age. So NNAMDI KANU is not somebody that will find it difficult to fit into a situation. He is intelligent. He's a businessman. He's a British citizen. He is loved by Nigerians. Nigerians love NNAMDI KANU. Forget what is happening. It's a misconception. Somebody who is rightly demanding, agitating for equity and justice was misconstrued by another section. And of course, government at the top has to do what they did, to bring peace and not to allow situation escalate. And now we are coming down to understand ourselves that, hey, we don't hate you, we love you. We have heard what you are saying. Okay, look at what we are doing. As it is now, I'm aware that President Bola Tinubu, there is a move to bring Southeast at par with other regions. That is one of those things that NNAMDI is agitating for. So you can now see that the government is working, to make Nigeria better, and NNAMDI KANU will also fit in whatever he would want to become, to contribute to the development of Southeast, to the development and growth of Nigeria. I am sure that government of the day will quickly get him assimilated in the system. Once he opens his mouth to say, okay, this is where I think I can function well, they will get him admitted immediately. He wouldn't have any problem, integrating back to the society at all.
A while ago, you mentioned that the South is probably the only state that has 5 states, whereas other regions have more than that. Now, you also just said that the president is, trying to compensate now, let me use the word now, the Southeastern people, in certain ways. Now, would you want to say that the possibility of maybe an additional state, maybe that's enough compensation?
Well, the additional state to Southeast is not a compensation. It is a due right that other regions have been enjoying over the years. So calling it a compensation, it will defeat the reason, the purposes for which emotions were up there. It is a right to bring them at par. If you give Southeast, if you make Southeast, for instance, 8 states, and make South 6 states, it is an injustice to South. No region should be less or be made to feel less inferior to the other. We are all at equal pedestal in order to contribute our right for national development. So it is not a compensation, it is not enough at all. What would serve as a compensation is speeding up infrastructural decay in the region. Look at the railway station that was given anyhow during Buhari regime. I do not think that one passed through Southeast. I do not think so. So we are all students of history. We see this, we watch. Where a father has 10 children and 1 or 2 or 3 are being given cookies more than the other ones. My brother, you have children. The other ones will, Daddy, you are not giving me as much as you are giving this man. Something got to be done. So love your children equal. Show them that you love them equal. Even when you don't love them equal, do not make it look obvious. So I think I have addressed that. Giving us one additional state is not a compensation. It is something that is right for government to do so that we will be at par with the rest of the region.
Okay, as we commence our descent now, you talked about the railway. You know, you asked the question whether the federal government passed through the Southeast. I'm sure you were referring to the past administration. But the second Niger bridge, I mean, is that not a kudos for the last administration?
My brother, let me take it quickly. Second Niger bridge. I started hearing of second Niger bridge from kindergarten. Second Niger bridge was made a political tool. Each time we are getting closer to any electioneering period, you see aspirants, you know, playing mind games and politics with second Niger bridge. If you vote me, I will do second Niger bridge. It's been there over the well, kudos to President Buhari. Sorry for that interjection. He completed what Goodluck Jonathan started. So government is a transition from one hand to the other. And they have completed it. The fact that it's situated in Southeast does not make it less a national property. It is the right of federal government to quickly intervene for any decay. You mustn't be third mainland bridge all the time. Any bridge, be it Makodi bridge, be it KB bridge, be it the one that passed across the Southeast, these are federal government infrastructures. They don't need us to cry foul before their attention will come to it. There has to be an agency whose responsibility will be to identify, you know, the ones that require attention.
All right, so quickly now, because of time.
Overseas, and they see how infrastructures are being maintained. But when they come here, they will be playing ostrich. Okay. So it's not something to celebrate about. It's something that they are supposed to do, and they have done it. Congratulations to Nigeria.
Okay, all right. So thank you. Because of time, thank you so much, Sixtus. Talking about NNAMDI's Sixtus Obina, calling in from Imo State. Thank you so much for that time.